Have you ever found yourself saying yes when you really wanted to say no, or apologizing just to keep the peace, even though you didn't do anything wrong? If that sounds familiar, you're probably not just too nice. You might be a people pleaser. Here's the truth you probably haven't heard: people pleasing isn't your personality. It's your nervous system survival strategy. In this video, we're going to talk about how trauma shape our identity and how to finally start showing up as the real you. You didn't wake up one day and decide to care more about others than yourself. People pleasing starts in childhood when love felt conditional. Maybe you learn, if I'm quiet and good, I'll be safe. If I make everyone happy, they won't leave. If I don't cause problems, I'll be loved. So your brain linked approval with survival. Your nervous system literally said, being like, being safe. This is called people pleasing. It's a trauma response, just like freeze or fight or flight. And the more you did it, the more your brain believed this version of you was the one who deserved love. If you grew up in an environment where your needs were not met or where you had to perform for love, your identity forms around keeping peace, not being real. You become the fixer, the caretaker, the one who moves things over, even when it hurts you. You lose touch with yourself. And the saddest part is you don't even realize you're doing it because your brain calls it love. But what it really is survival. Healing from people pleasing isn't about becoming selfish. It's about becoming authentic. And here's how to start. Triggers are your biggest blessing. Let me explain. Let's say, for example, you notice that there's something happening in your face. You have acne that you never had before, or a part of your face is red, and you want to get to the bottom of it so you can treat it. For you to notice those issues, you have to look at yourself. Someone has to point it to you, right? And now you want to find out how you can heal it, how you can get rid of it. It's the same thing when it comes to getting triggered or healing. When I used to get triggered in the past, and even now when I do, like the first 1 to 3 minutes, I am mad. I'm triggered, I'm being triggered. I'm like, why is this happening? I was having a good day. But when I learned that when you're getting triggered, it's someone that's pointing a mirror at you and telling you, hey, you have something here. Do you want to heal it? So it's not life working against you, it's life working for you. Maybe you are in a relationship and your partner left you undelivered for a few hours, and that's starting to trigger you. It's not really the partner that is doing that. It's because you have an abandonment wound. So it's just pointing at that wound that you haven't healed. Or maybe it's someone that's treating you badly and it's pointing a memory of the past, of how your parents treated you bad or how someone treated you bad. So triggers are your biggest blessing. And when it comes to people pleasing or healing in general, you have to be aware of yourself. You have to kind of evaluate yourself and ask yourself, where do I overextend myself? When do I get that feeling to say yes when I really want to say no? Maybe a friend is asking you to go out, but you don't want to go, but you feel like you have to say yes. what is it that triggered that? Like, what makes you say yes when you really want to say no? Because when you get that not feeling, when you say yes, even though you wanted to say no, it's your nervous system protecting you. And in order for you to be the real you, you have to get to the bottom of it. You want to fix it. Maybe it's knowing that, okay, I'm not going to go out with my friend. I will stay home. That's fine. Maybe they will have fun, but it's okay. I decide to stay home. Or maybe your partner didn't text you and you're like, why is this happening? So you get to the bottom of it, you journal, and you find out that's because your parents left you, or that's because someone left you in the past and you haven't healed from it. This one is something that I struggle with. I'm still working on it, and we don't owe anyone an instant answer. Okay, it's simple. Let me think about it. Or that is so much. You're doing so much for your nervous system because it can take a break and you can relax. And when you answer and when you finally respond, it's coming from the real you and not your nervous system. And let me give you an example. I like I said, this is something that I struggle with because at a young age I was put in a situation where I had to make a decision right away. Okay? I I don't know if this is your first video you're watching, but in my older video I talked about how I was abandoned at 2 years old. And when I think about it, it's like, what was going on in my mind as a 2 years old when I looked around? My dad wasn't there, my mom wasn't there. What was going on in my mind, right? Like when I was hungry, when I wanted to drink water. So when it comes to like pausing before responding, it's hard for me because there's time in when I was a child that I had to make decision. There's no thinking, how am I gonna answer this? I had to make it because every decision was a life or death situation, and I have to respond right away. And obviously, it's something I'm working on. I'm getting better, but maybe you are working on it with too. But I just want to let you know that you don't owe someone an answer. And instant answer. Okay? Especially it's hard when you're having like a um one-on-one conversation and you feel like you have to answer right away, but trust me, you don't. There's a lot of podcasts, there's a lot of books that talks about this. Thinking about it, it's so good because when you take a minute to answer, it's gonna be the real you answering. It's gonna be the real you responding. When you respond right away, it's your nervous system. So it's not coming from you. And this happened to me a lot of time. There's time where I'm having a conversation with someone, I respond, but then after a few minutes or when I get home, I think about it, it's like, why did I say that? Like, I didn't even mean to say it. And then I remember it's my nervous system, it's my old survival patterns that made me respond that way, and that it wasn't me. So pausing before responding is gonna do you so good. Ask yourself daily, what do I want right now? This is a simple question, but it rewires your brain to see you as someone's worthy of care. This is something that I love doing. I love reparenting myself because I didn't have that growing up. But when I do it, it just proves to you how much you really want to heal, how much you really love yourself. Even when you make mistakes, just asking yourself, what do I really want? You know, and I've proven this to myself in so many ways that I don't party anymore. And in the beginning, when I would tell my friends that I don't want to go to this place, at first it was hard to say that because I was a people pleasing. But when I make this decision because that's what I really want, I just feel so free. I feel so much love for myself. So It's a simple question, but the more you do it, you're gonna realize it's not that simple. Like, especially if you're a people pleaser, honoring your needs are so hard because you want to please others. You want to make sure that you're safe. You want to make sure that people don't leave, right? So sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do. But healing from people pleasing is putting yourself in those discomfort situations. It might be discomfort at the moment, but trust me, in a week, in a day, or even in hours, you're gonna feel so good. When it comes to practicing honesty, you have to start small. This is something that maybe you struggle with because I certainly do. And it's pretty valid because when you think about people pleasing, 95 to probably 100% of it is you doing things that you don't agree with, that you don't want to do, but you have to do it because you want to be safe. Your nervous system think being like, when you're liked by other, then you're safe. Then at least you have people that like you, so you're not alone. But that's not what it is. Being the real you is being okay with people not liking you because you love yourself. You love yourself so much that you don't want to do things that you don't like doing, right? For example, me, I just didn't like going to parties. I just never felt like that was my place. Like I would go there, I just didn't like it. And in the beginning, it was hard for me to tell my friend that, but then I had to remember, am I doing this for them or am I doing this for me? When I go home at night after the party and I'm shaming myself and I don't feel good in myself, who's there with me? Are my friends there or am I alone in that situation? And I thought, like, if they're really my friend, this shouldn't be an issue. So I started telling my friends, like, I don't want to go to parties. I don't want to do this anymore. If you guys want to go out, we can plan something. We could go to a brunch. We can go to a museum. We could do things that are okay with me, but I don't want to go to parties anymore. Of course, in the beginning, it wasn't easy. That's why you have to start small. And also, you have to start small because you don't want to scare your nervous system. Your nervous system, even though it's making you go back to old survival patterns, it's just doing that to keep you safe. For example, me, when I was younger, I would do things to be loved because I knew that my aunt wasn't my mom and I wanted to get loved. I wanted to get attention the same way that my cousins were getting attention. So I would do more. I would do more of the dishes. I would ask my aunts, "Do you want me to do this?" I would just do more than what my aunts were doing, what my cousins were doing, because I thought that's how I'm gonna get loved and attention. But of course, it wasn't. That's why you need to start small. You want your body to trust you. Also, when you start small, you're training your body, your brain, that honesty doesn't equal danger. When you're honest, yes, someone might disagree with you, but that doesn't mean you are in danger because you got yourself, because you're doing this for the little child inside of you that had to go through those things, that had to say yes, even though she wanted to say no. But now that you got her, now that you know better, now you can make different choice. Here's something that I struggle with a lot when it comes to getting rid of my people pleasing personality. I used to think that there was something wrong with me. I would shame myself because I hated when I had to say yes to something that I really want to say no. I hated when I had to let myself down because I wanted to be liked. And I would think of myself, is there something wrong with me? Why am I like this? Why can I not be confident? Why can I not say no just like my friend did? It was like I just didn't understand. But once I knew that I wasn't broken, there's nothing wrong with me. I just adapted based on the environment that I grew up in. And people pleasing was my way of surviving in a world that didn't feel safe. But now that I'm safe, now that you are safe, hopefully you are, I pray that you are safe. You don't need to carry that armor anymore. You don't need to please to be loved anymore. You are loved just the way you are. And I know it might seem hard to unlearn everything, to get rid of that personality, but you can unlearn performing for love. Because the truth is, everyone is worthy and deserve love just by being themselves. You don't need to say yes to something that you really want to say no to just because you want to be loved. You are loved and you are worthy just the way you are. Here are the takeaways for this video. Triggers are your biggest blessing. If there's something that I really want you to retain from this video is triggers are your biggest blessing. When you're triggered, it's not life working against you. It's life working for you. Because when you're triggered, now you know where to work on. It's so hard for us to see all the wounds that we have or everything that we need to work on. But when you're triggered, when you know something, this made you act this way, now you can get to the bottom of it. Now you can heal it. Now you can forgive that person. And now you can free yourself. People pleasing isn't your fault. It's your nervous system trying to protect you. The more you honor your needs, the safer your body feels. And that's how you heal. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments. What's one small way you're going to start putting yourself first this week? Be safe and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.